All right, welcome, welcome. It is the 15th of September. I wanted to give you guys a couple updates before we get started. Our topic tonight is let's taco about, because it's Taco Tuesday. Let's talk about building a team, recruiting, sponsoring, whatever you want to call it. So that's what we're talking about tonight. We were going to talk about growing your business with gift baskets tonight. Hurricane Sally. Why do I think that's not right? Hurricane Sally, I think, put a little snag in our plans, and Amy thought she might not have power. So we changed it. We changed it on either yesterday or Sunday night. And we flipped weeks. So we're doing that next week. Oh, there she is. Is that food yummy? That food looks pretty good. That wine looks good. So
Hey, Alex is always eating. He's eating my spaghetti and meatballs.
I love it. All right, so we're gonna do that next Tuesday. So tonight we've got Rachel Field, who is the superstar director in our downline, and probably the strongest recruiter that we have out of everyone in our downline. She is staying up super late to do this for you all. It is 2 a.m. in the UK where she is, but she's fantastic and a night owl, and I think you guys are gonna love what she has to share. Just wanted to give you a few Scentsy updates to make sure everyone's on the same page. You guys slaughtered the Johnny Appleseed brick launch, obviously. It lasted, well, less than an hour. The cider milk clean bundle was still available last time I checked. Make sure that you're checking the the product status list. It's not pumpkin spice latte, it's the product status list. For updates on these bars and things that you're asking us about. They update that at 4 p.m. Mountain Time every day. If you don't see what you're looking for listed on there, it probably changed status after they had prepared it for the day or after they posted it for the day, and take a look the next day. If it says TBD, to be determined, they're still working on the answer, and that's why they're not intentionally holding the information from you. That is, they don't want to they want to try and give you the best possible answer. I know some of these dates are pushing back and pushing back. In most cases, that's an inventory issue with something they're waiting for, whether it be labels or some of the oils or something like that. And quite honestly, you guys are just selling the wax faster than they can pour it right now. But that problem will be resolved in the weeks ahead. So make sure you're checking that. If you had a luminary jack warmer, and now let me repeat what I said on the page last week or over the weekend, it is not a Jack Skellington warmer, it is a luminary jack warmer. Do not cut the cords on your Jack Skellington warmers like I know a few of you did. That would be tragic, like seriously heartbreaking. If it's the luminary jack, and if you receive them, it is a full recall. So they're asking you to cut the cords on them, take a picture and email it into support. You would have gotten an email about it. If you have an order that's held up, there are some orders from the first that are held up that while they remove those, I have one of those orders that's held up. So I feel you guys on it. It's been printed for like a week. They are anticipating having that resolved within hopefully the next couple days. So they need to refund them before they can let the orders push through. So be patient with it. Explain to your hosts or your customers what happened. I think they react based on our level of frustration or lack of frustration. So NFL warmers, they posted an update. Those are coming the end of this month or the beginning of October, depending upon when you ordered them. You'll get an email. As I said, next Tuesday, our Taco Tuesday is all about growing your business with gift baskets. Amy is really fantastic and has built a business based on this, and she does an incredible job, and she's going to break it all down from you. Those of you that were on our Leaders Lounge and got a little preview of that from Alex a Monday night late on the second half of our Leaders Lounge, where he was showing how to make bows and things, it'll be all that and more, I promise you. So looking forward, we have Work It Wednesday tomorrow at noon Eastern and 8 Eastern. And the link is will be posted on the Scent Warriors group page. We also, it's time to start thinking about those holiday products that are launching on the 1st. If you have that SFR kit, you might want to be getting those samples out to your customers. If you have the warmers, or not the warmers, if you have the bars or any of the clean products and you're planning to sample those, you might want to get those out, because I expect the launch on the 1st will be just as big as the launch September 1st was. So other things to start thinking about, you know, we're at a window here in the next couple of weeks where customers are definitely stocking up big on those fall fragrances. And the product status list updates brought them kind of back in about the 21st, a lot of them, like Autumn Road Trip that I've been dying waiting for forever. So be thinking about that, and time to start thinking about things for October, like boo bags, you know, anything that can have a kind of a Halloween or harvest theme to it. It's time to start thinking about those things. So real quick, our top 5. Myra is in first. Myra Raboli is in first. She's over 8,000 PRV. She's got me by about 500, but it's a race. We're going hard on that. Amy Dernan is got the 3rd highest PRV. Megan and Alex Anderson the 4th, and Tracy Tromboli is in 5th place. And so to be in the top 10, you would need a PRV over 4,287. The top 20 would be 3,928. And we've got 2,760 consultants with over 500 PRV. So just to give you an idea, the numbers are pretty incredible this month. You guys are all slaying it for sure. All right, I don't want to take any more time. I will answer questions at the end, but I want to go ahead and turn it over to Rachel. I think you will love her accent, and she's got some really cool things to talk about with recruiting. Just a different way to think about it, and it's just fantastic. I think you're going to learn a lot. So the floor is yours.
Hi. Them numbers are crazy, by the way, that PRV. Like, I am not a big seller, just to put that out there, but I am quite good at recruiting. So if you don't know me, I am Rachel Field. I joined the business 4 years ago. I'd never heard of Scentsy before. I was on maternity leave. I was a full-time wedding photographer, and my friend invited me to a candle party. Didn't know what it was, went along, and that's where I first found out about Scentsy. I didn't want a business at all, but I did want 2 warmers, and it was cheaper to buy the kit than it was to buy them separately. So totally joined just for the discount. Thought I would sell to a couple of friends and family and do it completely as a hobby. I was just bored. I was at home. My daughter was 2 months old and my son had just started school. So I wanted a little bit of adult time and a total hobby. Didn't want to recruit, didn't want to promote, nothing like that. It was just to tide me over until I went back to work. But then they announced the incentive to Rome, which was the holiday, vacation. The first holiday that I had ever heard that Scentsy could do. I didn't even know you could do those things. And I'm not a massive seller. My sales were anywhere between 500 and 1,500 PRV, which I was really happy with, but I worked out I couldn't earn the incentive based on that. So I had to recruit. I did a plan, I sat down and I worked out I needed 10, 15 recruits to get them certified in order to earn the incentive. So I set out to do that, and that's when I found out that I really loved recruiting, much more than the selling side of the business. I loved seeing someone come new into the business, not knowing what they were doing, really nervous, really shy, and then 3 or 4 months down the line with their first promotion, shooting star, things like that. That's where I got my buzz in this business. So I started off recruiting completely selfishly because I wanted to earn the incentive, but that is definitely my favourite part of the business now. So definitely make a plan when it comes to recruiting. That's how mine started, with going for the incentive. Start with your friends and your family. You know them. That's what I started with. You can make samples together. You can do fairs together. You can make up your mystery bags together and things like that. And it's less scary approaching your friends and your family. You know them. You can be quite jokey about it. And they trust you as well. I think it's very important when someone signs up with you that they trust you. Most people who I've recruited, I've built a relationship with them first and I know them. They were either a friend or a customer or family or a friend of a friend. There's not many strangers that have joined me without knowing me or meeting me or having a conversation with me. So definitely start with your friends and family. It's not a scary thing. Don't be scared by it. It's really, really fun. It can be really exciting. You joined as well, so why wouldn't they? A lot of my team always say to me, I've asked everyone and nobody wants to do it, and you just get this assumption that nobody wants to join, that they just want to buy. You might have asked 1 or 2 people and they've said no, so you've got this assumption in your head that nobody wants to join. That is not the case at all. If you joined, there's a reason why you joined. There was something about this business model that attracted you. That same reason might attract them as well. So I was on maternity leave, bored, looking for something. So a lot of people who I got at the beginning were also on maternity leave, either not wanting to go back to work full time, or we're in the same position, bored, looking for a hobby, something to fill their time. And then it's turned into something from there. So think about why you joined the business, what it was that attracted you, because that's very likely going to attract the people who join you as well. Like they say, your vibe attracts your tribe. So whatever it is that got you interested in the first place, they're the type of people that you want to be looking out for. So definitely start with friends and family. It's never too early. You can start recruiting on day 1. I started pretty early into the business, just with a couple of people at first, not loads, but then I really got into it. You don't need to know everything as well. I've been in this business 4 years and I learn new things every single day. Like literally yesterday I learned something new that I totally should have known already. I'm not going to say what it was. So yeah, definitely it's never too early to start as early as possible. You can work together, you can build the business up together, you can become each other's accountability partner. All you're doing is making friends when it comes to recruiting. You're not job interviewing people, you're not their boss, you're not anything like that. You're just a friend who's going to help them in their journey. You've got experiences that you can share with them, you've got things that have worked for you, you've got things that haven't worked for you. That's not to say they'll work for them as well, but you can pass your experiences on and you can help and guide them. That's all you are. You're not nobody's boss. Everyone in this business is an independent Sensi consultant. So all you need to do is make friends, just build relationships and make friends. That's how you're going to get your recruits. With your friends, if you start off recruiting them, you're seeing them every week anyway. You might as well make money together. You might as well make samples together. If you're spending an hour in a cafe with a friend every week, make samples while you're there and get them in the business as well. You're not bothering people either. A lot of people think that by asking people, they are bothering them. Absolutely not. You're offering them an opportunity. It's actually part of your job description to do this. If you're wanting to promote through the business, it's part of your job. So like a waiter in a restaurant, if they come up to you and offer you a dessert, that's part of their job. You might say no, you might say yes, but it's not going to upset them. So if they came to me and asked me if I wanted a dessert, I might just not fancy one that day and say no, but I haven't hurt his feelings. I haven't personally attacked him. So if you get no's in this business, don't let it personally affect you. It was just a no for that day. That doesn't mean that he's not going to ask the next person that comes in, because it's part of his job to ask them. And it also doesn't mean that the next time I come back to the restaurant, he's going to ask me again if I want a dessert. If he didn't, I'd probably be quite offended. I might be waiting for him to ask me that question. It might have been a no last time, but I'm really wanting that. Same with the opportunity. Somebody might have said no as like a quick reaction response, because when people are scared and they don't know if they'd be any good at something, the immediate reaction is a no. But they might have gone away and thought about it, and they're just waiting for you to ask them again. So once you've asked somebody, don't write them off. I always have a list. I think having a list is really important. So I have a list of people who I think would be amazing, and I try not to think that somebody wouldn't be good because of a reason. I always try and think of a reason why they would be good. So don't think because somebody's got loads of kids that they wouldn't be good, because they're busy people. They're meeting people every day. They're at baby groups, they're on the school run, and they're out and about in the community. They make the best consultants. Busy people. That's what you want. Don't think that because someone's a stay-at-home mum and they don't get out much that they wouldn't make a good consultant. They might be on Facebook all day. They might be really bored and looking for something to fill their time. They might know loads of people on an online community. Don't prejudge people before you put them on the list. Always try and think of a reason why they should be on the list. But all you're doing is offering an opportunity to them. You don't know anyone's circumstances as well. Don't think, oh, they don't need the money, they're really well off, they don't need that. You just don't know. And also circumstances change. So you might ask somebody, and the reason why they've said no 3 months later, that reason might not exist anymore. So when you've got people on your list and they've said no, it is not a no forever. It is just a no for now. And a lot of the time it's just because they're scared. So if you can take that fear away from them, then that's a really good idea. Things like having a party and things like that, and getting their first initial customers, that really helps taking the fear away. But you said yes to the opportunity, so there's no reason why they wouldn't as well. Don't just automatically presume that no one wants to join the business, especially if you've only asked 2 people. You've probably hit unlucky that those 2 people didn't want to join the business. You need to be asking in much higher numbers. 1 in 10 usually thinks about joining the business. They might not join that day, that's fine. Most people who've joined with me have joined within 6 months of me asking. Some of them, one of them joined the other month, and that was 4 years after I'd first asked her. Now, if I'd never asked her again, she wouldn't have joined, and she has had the most amazing launch party. It was unreal. So I'll go to her a little bit. So I first met her, she was one of my first parties ever, and she actually phoned me to cancel our party because there was only 3 people going. But she lives in the same village as me, and I'd had the car packed up and everything, and I was like, no, this is one of my first, I'm going to go. Had in my head, I'm not going to get a sale, but it's absolutely fine. Went, sold 3 diffusers at this party. I'd never sold a diffuser in my life. It was probably one of my highest parties ever with 3 people. But I nearly cancelled because she was going to cancel and I didn't, and now she's on my team. 4 years later, it was a long, hard slug with it. It's not usually that long. It's usually within 6 months. But don't give up on people. Her circumstances changed. The opportunity became something that she needed. So she was always on my list. And every time I dropped her order off, I would say things like, you could have got this free, you could have got this half price, like in a really jokey way, because we have that relationship. It's all about building that relationship. But like I said, circumstances can change. So don't just ask people the ones, and don't just ask 1 or 2 people. You need to be asking in bigger numbers. Another thing that I do sometimes is I work out the commissions. So most of my recruits were past customers, and I'll work out what commission they would have earned that year. It's often quite scary for them of how much they've spent, because they don't realise. And I'll say to them, look, I've made £200 from you this year. I've made $500 from you this year. You could be earning that. Sometimes when you say that, that's just the light bulb moment. That's just off their own orders of what they wanted and what their sister wanted and what their mum wanted. Like if they started actually asking friends, that could go amazing for them. But like I said, someone's immediate reaction is no. If you offer someone something that's completely out of their comfort zone, you're going to say no. If someone said to me, do you want to go on a roller coaster? No, absolutely not. That's out of my comfort zone. But if somebody reworded that in a different way and said to me, do you know anyone who would like to go on a roller coaster? There's this new one just being built. Do you know anyone who might be interested? It's probably a friend who's asking me, and I want to help them out. So I'm going to take a minute to think about it, of who in my friends list that I know that would like to. And while I'm thinking about it, I might convince myself to do it. It's just took away that 1 second of like, no, immediate no. Do you want to go on? No, I don't. Do you know someone who wants to go on? Oh, well, actually, I know this person and that person. So sometimes it's just about a different way of asking. So that's where I come on to direct and indirect. So direct approach to recruiting would be if you were on the schoolyard picking the kids up and somebody had said, oh, I really want to go on holiday this year, I just can't, vacation, sorry, keep forgetting I'm talking to Americans, I really want to go on vacation this year, I just can't afford it and I need to save up. You could directly say to them, you know, I sell Sensi, I could help you out there. So I wouldn't, in that situation, push it, and I wouldn't say, oh my God, you have to join Sensi, you have to do this, and then we'll do this and we'll do that. I leave it pretty open. If I was going direct, I would say, you know, I do Sensi, I could help you out with that. Let me know if you want more information. So I'm not pushy. Don't push on them everything. Don't tell them that they have to join. You're leaving the door open for them. You're just offering a little bit of a, do you want more information? That would be quite direct. Or if I was scrolling on Facebook and somebody had said that they were saving up for a wedding, did anyone have any ideas for how they could save? I might pop them a message and directly say, you know, I do Sensi. This could be a great way of getting an extra income. Let me know if you want more information. So that's quite direct. I much prefer the indirect way though. So indirect would be me making up a load of samples. So this is how I do it every time. So I would make up about 50 samples usually of whiffs, of wax, and have them ready to go. In there would be joint information. You would have your product sheet and things like that in there as well. And I would pop, I would go to my list. So I've got my list and it's got 3 columns on. My list is in notes on my phone and it's on paper. So I've got the name of the person. Then in the middle column, I've got the reason why I think they would be amazing. Are they really busy? Do they know loads of people? Are they great on Facebook? Are they great on Instagram? Have they done sales before? Are they a customer? Do they already love the products? Customers 100% are the best consultants ever because they love the products already. You don't have to convince them on that. They're buying every week, every month, every few months. They're also promoting it to their friends and family by having it in their home. They've probably had parties for you in the past. They've probably got a friend base who are also buying Scentsy, so that would become their customer base. Customers 100% make the best consultants. So I would go through my list of who I've got, of who I want on my dream team, and I would message them saying, I've just made up a load of free Scentsy samples. Would you like fruity or fresh? I'm posting them out tomorrow. So I don't say, would you like some samples? I'm assuming that they want them. They've bought from me before, their customers, their friends, their family. Who doesn't want samples? Everyone wants samples. So they're going to reply to you. It's not just going to be an ignore message. So they're going to reply saying, yes, I want both, like most of my customers do. And they might say, I want fresh or I want fruity. So I'll say, great, I'm posting those out tomorrow. You don't know anyone looking to make an extra income or get their own Scentsy for free, do you? So the same thing every time. You don't know anyone looking to get an extra income or get their own Scentsy for free. By asking if they know anyone, it takes away that 1 second immediate no, what I was talking about before. So if I say, do you want to make an extra income with Scentsy? No, never done that before. I'm really scared. Don't want to do that. Do you know anyone? It's giving them a minute to think about it. Also, I'm hitting 2 things there because not everyone joins for the money. I didn't. I joined for a hobby and for free Scentsy. So you're hitting the part where they could get 3.5 price Scentsy, and you're hitting the part for the extra income. So that's 2 areas that you're hitting. Most people who join want one of those. Some people just want friendships as well, but that sort of comes along with it. Also, by saying, do you know anyone, you're giving them a minute to think about whether they would want to join. The reaction that I'm wanting from that is them to say something like, what about me? Like, why haven't you asked me? I almost want them to be offended that I haven't asked them, because then it's their idea. And once it's their idea to join, they're going to join. Even though I've planted it, it's now their idea. They're like, almost offended, like, what about me? Why aren't you asking me? Tell me more about it. But also they could say, my sister's out of work, she might be interested. So if they suggest someone else, I'll get them to set up a group message between me, them and their sister or whoever they've suggested. That way I'm getting introduced. I'm not just cold calling someone. They trust me. They're bringing me into that circle because they trust me as a friend. It's a friend introducing to another friend. So you take away that whole cold calling thing. And it might be that they join, it might be that they don't. But the person who I wanted was the person who I asked. I might end up getting 2 or 3 from that though, because they start suggesting friends. If they come back and say, I can't think of anyone, I'll say, what about you? You would be amazing because, and I've got my list, so I've got their name and I've got the reason, and then I've got a date column at the end. You would be amazing at Scentsy because whatever reason. If it's still a no, I'll then say to them, is it just a no for now? Is it something that you want to think about? Could I come back to you in a couple of months? Would another time be better for you? And we can talk about it again. So that's what my date column is for, because a lot of them will say, ask me again in 2 months when the kids are back at school. Ask me again after Christmas when my life's a bit calmer. Ask me again after the wedding, something like that. So I've got another date. We've pre-arranged that I can ring them then and speak to them then about it, so it's not going to come out of the blue. And also that takes away the whole me bothering them, which I'm not, but it takes away the stigma of that because I'm not bothering them because they've asked me to get in touch with them again then. So that really, really works well for me, the indirect approach, because you're offering something. It's a backwards and forwards conversation. You're offering samples. Yes, they want samples. You're offering, do they know anyone who wants 3.5 price? Yes, they do. It's coming back to you. You're offering an opportunity. They're going to reply. They're not just going to ignore you. There's nothing worse than messaging 50 people saying, do you want to join Scentsy? And not one of them replying. That's going to put a massive dent in your ego. So by doing the indirect approach, you're taking away that awkwardness that you might find by doing it directly. I start with customers, they make the best ones. I go with friends and family as well, and I try and get recommendations as well. Every time I do an order, I put join opportunity stuff in their order, so my customers expect that now. I've actually had a few times when my husband's made my orders up and not put it in by accident, and they've messaged me going, oh, am I not good enough to join now? And I know that they're interested. I know they're going to do it in the next 6 months. It's almost like a game for me as well. I've turned it into a bit of a competition of when someone says no the first time but contact me again in a few months, I think I can get them within the month, or I think they'll join within 3 months or within 6 months. I kind of challenge myself. So you've got to make it fun. Don't hate recruiting. Fall in love with it. It's got to be the part of the business that you really, really enjoy. You can't promote it all without recruiting. You can sell as much PRV as you want. You can have the most amazing business with sales, but you cannot get past certified without any recruits at all. And the earning potential is crazy once you've got your team, once you build your team, once they build their teams and they build their teams and they build their teams. Honestly, it's absolutely crazy. So you need to be making it a fun part of the business and not the bit that you're avoiding because you don't like the no. You've got to get rid of the stigma of that no. Turn it into a game, collect no's. 1 in 10 will think about joining. So try and ask 30, 40, 50 people if you can. You do know that many people. You've got that many people on your Facebook. You've got that many neighbours, friends, family when you're making your list. You do know that many people. So try and ask in multiples because you're much more likely to get a good result than just asking 2 people a week. If you're asking 2 people a week, you're probably going to get someone every 6 months. But if you're asking 50 people a month, you're probably going to get 2 or 3 people a month join. And it'll be from your same list of 50. You don't need a new 50 each month. You're just re-asking in a couple of months each time. So from your list of 50, you can probably get 5 to 10 people over a 6-month period from them. The last thing I want to talk to you about is the horse join kit because it is the best thing that was ever invented. So I don't know whether you guys use the horse join kit or not. Just get a drink because I get excited about this bit. So I don't know if you guys use the horse join kit much or not, but it is amazing. So the horse join kit was originally brought out for people who have home parties. It was a way of them joining and getting a kit at a discounted price using their host rewards, which it's great for. You should be asking every single person who has a home party to join using the horse join kit. I don't do that many home parties. I don't know whether you guys are at the minute, but the lockdown's a bit crazy over here, so home parties aren't a massive thing for me, but I absolutely love a basket party. I love a borrow basket or a tote bag party or whatever it is that you call it. I make it look as pretty as possible. I have 3 how many have I got? I think I've got 4 on the go all of the time. So I always try and give borrow baskets out in 2s. To get interested in my borrow baskets, I just tend to ask who wants to smell the new samples, who wants to smell the new fragrances, who wants to earn 3.5 price Scentsy and things like that. So I don't try and offer it out as a borrow basket as much. I just try and get a little bit of interest first. If someone wants samples, I'll then upsell it to a borrow basket. So if they say, oh, I want to try some of the new fragrances, I'll say, oh, well, I've just gotten a borrow basket back. I'll drop it back off for you tomorrow. So I drop them off in 2s. I tend to give it for 3 or 4 days or a full week if they want it, but no more than that. So when I take my borrow basket, I will drop 2 off in one night, and I'll say to the person at the door, I kind of spring it on them. I'm like, enjoy this borrow basket. I've got a little challenge for you. If you can get 100 PRV in orders, so whatever that is in your country, $100, I think it is in America, different in Canada. If you can get 100 PRV in orders while you've got this basket, you can have a half price warmer of your choice. So because I'm giving it out in 2s, when I collect them in, they've always got 100 PRVs. Sometimes I've got more, sometimes I've got 500, sometimes I've got even more, which is brilliant. But if they both come back with 100 PRV, I can put that jointly in as a party. So I'll enter that as a party. One of them gets the half price reward and one of them gets the perpetual party reward as the half price. So it's not costing me a thing. But I've also got the host credit to use up. So if, hang on, let me do my maths. So 200 PRV would be, I've got $20, yeah. I've got $20 to use up, so that yours is $59, so it will be $39. So I've got a host join kit for $39 available. So I'll pick the person who I like the best, who I thought did the best, who had the best sales, who asked the best questions, who just I've got a sense of who I think might be a good consultant out of the two. I might love them both, I might flip a coin, but I pick one of them and I'll say to them, right, you've got your half price Walmart, I'm ordering that now. You've been a consultant all week. You've sold these products. You've done exactly what I do in my job. Would you like to make an extra income from it? I've got this kit. It's normally, yours is $99 to join for the full price kit. I've got this discounted mini kit available. I have to order it when I put this order in the next 2 hours. So I need a decision. Would you like it for the $39? 9 times out of 10, yes, they would. Of course they would. Even if they're not going to plan on selling it, they want that discounted kit. And I join for the discounted kit, so don't discount them and think that they won't sell it, because they probably will. So yes, they want to join. Brilliant. I've got to recruit from that. If they say no, I put them on my list and I say, would another month be better? They might say, yes, come back to me in 2 months. I'd love to join then. Life's less crazy then. And that's great, because I can use one of my parties in 2 months' time to give them the host rewards from that. And I've got a second person to ask. One of the two is going to join. I quite like it when the first person says no, because I've got them in 2 months, and then the second person says yes. So I've actually got 2 recruits within the space of 2 months. So that is what I do all of the time with the host join kit. That's how I get the majority of my recruits. For probably the last year. Try and get your baskets out all the time. Always have your full list available. I actually keep the PRV for my parties because, like I said, I'm not a massive seller, and I do think that the kit option is amazing for them and they don't need the PRV. But you also have the option to flip that party to them to give them a great start to getting to certified consultant if you want to do. Totally your choice. If you've got massive PRV, you might as well be flipping the parties. If my PRV was huge, I would be. But it's not, so I don't. So that's completely up to you. So that's what I tend to do in terms of recruiting. It works out quite well for me. I normally recruit between 30 and 60 people a year with that. And I love it. Really love it. Favourite part of the job. Has anyone got questions?
Did you guys hear her? She recruits between 30 and 60 people a year. I mean, you're hands down the top recruiter in our whole downline. So you're amazing. If you guys have questions, put them in the chat. And don't you love her accent?
Did everyone understand?
My daughter loves your accent.
I always think that none of you understand me, especially last night when we were talking cheese graters.
My hand is actually on fire right now. That's like how I was writing down everything you were saying. Like I filled up about 2 pages with everything that you said. So thank you so much for all the great ideas.
Oh, you're welcome. I hope it helped.
Yeah, definitely.
So comments. So what's a burrow basket? Would you explain that?
Yes,
we do those here. So, but will you?
Like a tester bag, basically.
I'm just trying to think where I've got one. 2 seconds. They might all be out. 2 seconds.
You might fancy what she's going to show you. Yeah, so Heather, your question about the little starter kit. She was talking about the host exclusive kit that Scentsy offers. But when she's talking about burrow bags, and these, she's going to show you hers if she has one, but you can do your own spin on them, whatever's within your budget, whatever you want to include. And, you know, she's such a great recruiter that she did a training for our leadership group, and she actually said she likes to recruit them in, when she's going to recruit, Lori, refresh my memory. Do you remember when you did our Ignite group and you said, I'm actually quite lazy. Training them is a lot of work. So I like to recruit them in groups or something. Like I like to recruit a whole bunch at once.
Yeah. So I like to have at least 1 day a month, sometimes 2. 2 together is great. So my daughter used to go to nursery on a Tuesday and Wednesday, so they were my recruiting days. So I would go to the pub, not drinking, just go to the pub, have some food, get in a little booth, and I would go through my list and I would try and get, I'll be messaging 50 people that day about samples to see if they wanted them. And I like to get them in a big chunk, so like 3, 4, 5 together, 10 together, whatever I can get. because then I can train them all at the same time. It really annoys me when I get halfway through training one and I've got to start again and I've got to start again. So I like to get them all together, and I actually quite like to put them in a little training group together as well as I'm doing it, because they can get accountability partners in there that can help as well and get different perspectives. You'll get the person who, oh, I'm not going to be any good at selling, and the others will persuade them that they will be. You'll get the absolute rock star where everyone wants to aspire to be them. So I really like getting them in groups. It is the lazy way, I think, but like, I like it. So I haven't got a proper one made up, but this is kind of what I'll put in. So I've got a mini warmer. I've got some whiffs. Well, I put a tub of whiffs in, but I just put one scoop in, so they've got the size of the tub, and then they've got a scoop to use. I'll put a wax bar in, and I'll put some samples in. But I forgot to say before, I also put these in. So these are my packs. In there, I've got a product sheet, my favourite new catalogue products, some samples of whiffs and wax, and I've got joint information in there as well. So I'll put in 5 of these in each borrow basket. I'll put more in if they want as well. So when I get to the door and say to them, if you can get 100 PRV in sales this week, you can get your half price warmer. It's all made up for them. They just have to give 5 of these packs out to their close friends and family who they know would buy Sensi. All the information's in there, and then they just message them a couple of days later to get their order. So I want to make the process as simple as possible. I want to make my packs as simple as possible. These are things that they can replicate, and if they've given them out and they've got orders back from them, they know it works, so they can literally copy my system of doing exactly the same things when it comes to getting sales and recruiting. There's nothing fancy, but it works for me.
Love it. Hey, Heather, you don't need to apologize. We all start new, and no question's a dumb question. So you're always welcome to ask. Okay, lots of thank yous. Thank yous. Rachel's awesome. Thank you. Thank you very much. There are 2 more questions though. So I have someone that said they wanted to join and then they didn't. I haven't reached out to ask about it. Should I reach out? It's been 4 days, or should I just move on?
I would wait more than 4 days. I would give them a little bit of breathing space, and in the meantime work on your list and distract yourself, because you'll really want to be messaging them saying, why aren't you messaging me, why aren't you answering me? But don't do that. And then the next time you make them samples, just include them in your sample list. Don't even mention joining Sensi, just say I'm making up a load of samples. That might just be the little reminder to them, and they might say, oh, they usually say, oh, I forgot to read your message, or I forgot to reply to your message. I said they just didn't want to, but they want samples now, so they're going to reply to you. And that's when you say, look, if another time will be better for you, when would be better? Would it be in a month? Would it be? Don't be that desperate person who needs that recruit this week. You don't. The time frame doesn't matter at all. You're building up the relationship. You don't want to wreck the relationship by being too needy with them. They will join your team. Some of them won't, but the ones who are going to join your team will join your team. It doesn't matter if it's tonight. It doesn't matter if it's this week. It doesn't matter if it's next month. Don't take a huff with them. I don't know if you guys say that over there. Don't take a huff with them and think, oh, well, she was going to join, then she wasn't going to join, then she was going to join, so like,
wait,
I'm just
say that again. Don't take a what? We don't say that.
Do you not say that?
No.
Don't like be mad at them and like go
Oh,
in a strop.
Okay.
Like, do you go in a strop? Don't go in a strop.
No.
Like, don't. Do you not like be childish over it? Like, don't.
Yes, we do. We have people that are childish for sure. Yeah.
So don't think, oh, they ignored me, so I'm going to ignore them. No, you're building up that relationship, whether they join tonight or next week or next month. It doesn't matter. Keep that relationship open. It's probably just because they're scared. That's usually the reason why people don't join, is just because they think that they wouldn't be good. So the borrow basket thing is amazing, because they can't be scared of not getting sales because they've got 100 PRV in sales or more. They've done it. You've took that reason away for them not to join. Most people don't join because they think they wouldn't be good at it. They think they're going to get embarrassed by it. They think their friends and family wouldn't support them. But if you've proven that they've got 100 PRV, that's that reason gone.
Excellent. Let's see. Other question. What do you do when they join and you train them and then they quit? Like they decide it's too much work or they're not going to do it. How do you deal with the frustration? Do you just move on and keep recruiting?
Oh, this is a bit controversial, but I really like it when they quit. So So because if someone joins, they're usually a customer of mine anyway, or they've bought something in the past, so they're going to buy in the future. So I try and do the join, host, buy rather than the buy, host, join. So if someone comes to me wanting a mini warmer, I'll say to them, or wanting a big warmer or something, I'll say to them, you do realise there's a warmer in the join kit. The warmer that you want to order is in the join kit, or very similar warmers in the join kit. And it's the same price as you're spending $99 anyway. The join kit is $99. Would you not be interested, or do you know someone who would be interested? Because if it's a no to the join, they're still going to buy from me. I'll then offer them a borrow basket. I'll ask them to host. If it's a no to the borrow basket, they're still going to buy from me, because that's why they came to me in the first place. So I go join, host, buy. So the question was, what was the question?
What do you get upset when how do you handle it when they
leave? So
Yep.
When they join, that's great, because they're going to have a launch party. They're going to get 10, 20, 30 customers within their first month. Some of them might not do anything with the business, and that is fine, because they're still going to be a customer. They're going to come back to me and buy from me. But I try and do a launch party with everyone who joins, whether they want to or not. They're doing one, online one, whatever. I'll try and do it with them. So they're going to get 10, 20, 30 customers at that launch party. Even if they only do it for a month and then it's not for them anymore, I gain them 20 customers, and I also gain them back as a customer. I haven't lost anything. And in them 20 new customers, there's probably going to be 2 or 3 people who want to join the business, and that's going to help with that as well. So if someone joins and it's not for them, that's absolutely fine. This business isn't for everyone, but they're still going to be a customer, and they're still going to be part of your team. Do not fall out with people because of things like that. Don't fall out with people because they've joined someone who you know because they bought off both of you and they asked and you didn't ask. If someone's joined with someone else, it's because they've asked and you haven't asked. So don't not ask people, because somebody else will ask them. So yeah, if people drop off, that's absolutely fine. A lot of them come back as well. So I recruit a lot, but I get a lot rejoin as well. A lot leave when they fall pregnant, or when they move away, or if they go to university or something like that, and then circumstances change and they come back. So yeah, don't get mad with them. It's fine. If they join and then leave, I've gained customers, I've gained a friendship, and I've gained a customer from them for life, and also possibly someone who can come back in the business, someone who can recommend people to the business, someone who might just want to take borrow baskets every single month and get that 100 PRV and that half price warmer every month. But the people who buy off them, I get their details, they become customers, and they will join as well. If the person who I'm wanting to join has dropped off, their friend can take over from all of that customer base. So if they don't want the commission from one of their friends, well, it's fine.
Absolutely. So a question about explain join, host, buy. You know, we normally think buy, host, join, but and we've been talking about this a lot in our book club, right? So you share your perspective on why it's important to do that way, and then I've got something I want to add to it.
Okay, so always join, host, buy. You're wanting to promote through the business, you're wanting to improve your business, and the only way to do that is through recruiting. You can't move up without doing that. So by going for the join opportunity first, it's almost like that's the hardest one to go for. So go hardest to easiest. It's almost easier to get a sale and a customer than it is to get someone to join the business. People are less reluctant to buy a product than they are to buy into a business and change their whole lifestyle. So if you go for the hardest one first, which is the join, and then that's a no, that's fine. If you go for the host, that you can get half price and free Sensi, so that's a massive draw for that. And then if it's a no to both of them, it's going to be a yes to the buy, or for a free sample for the process of buying. If you go buy first, you've lost the opportunity of the other two, because they want a product and they've got a product. It's almost like upselling. So you know when you go to McDonald's and they say, do you want fries with that? Do you want it bigger? Do you want? It's an upsell. So by going there first, if they want the product and you give them the product, that's the conversation over. But if they want the product and you offer something else and they say no, that's fine, and then if they offer something else, and then you end up back with the product and that they were going to buy anyway. Does that make sense? Am I making it more confusing?
No,
Yeah?
it makes total sense. Makes total sense.
Okay.
What I would add to that, it's something that we've been talking about in our Get Over Your Damn Self book, is Rami talks about the fact that if you lead with the buy and they say, no, no, I don't want to buy Scentsy. Why would I want that? Then how can you ask them after that if they want to join? If they've just told you they don't like the products, then like you just hit a wall, right? But if you start with the join, because some people do join for other reasons, but it's really an awkward transition from, oh, do you want to buy a warmer and wax or whatever? And they say no. Then how do you follow up with, well, how about you host a party or how about you join, right? So you have put yourself against a wall with that one. So let's see. All right. Any other questions, you guys? It's almost 3 a.m. your time, yes?
I'm wide awake now. I'm fine. Let's do a party.
You're killing me. If you were to guess, how many people do you think you've recruited? This is not a question. I'm just curious. Have you looked it up? Because I was going to look it up again and I still haven't. Do you have any idea how many people you've recruited?
No idea. I went there. I don't know. I would say over 120, but possibly less than 200, somewhere in that region. I don't know.
I would say I think you've recruited a lot more than 120.
I've got a lot of reinstatements as well. They don't show on the reports, do they? So
no.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I was just curious. All right. Thank you so much. If there's no other questions, we're not going to, we're going to let you go to sleep. But thank you. You were fantastic. I really appreciate you staying up and sharing with us.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, you guys. Next Tuesday, we are going to talk about Amy is going to make spaghetti and meatballs for us all, apparently. And she's going to share about how she's growing her business with baskets and all the details about it. So do you want to give a 1-minute promo, Amy? She's like, no, I do not.
Hello.
Hello.
I said no. Alex and Megan said yes, but I'm looking forward to next week. I have a little story of why I like baskets. I'll tell you all that, but I will have a few already made up, and then I'll show you how I do it, and I'll even have a list of all the supplies I use and where links to where I purchase everything, and what else?
Yeah.
Oh, and I'll even show y'all how I make my bows. So I'll try this week to even, I guess now it's in my head, I know how much I have to measure out, but I even may try to figure out how much you need, and I'll even put it under the Taco Tuesday thing and say, if you want to learn how to make a bow, have this many yards of ribbon. Like, and then I could do it, and y'all could do it with me if you'd like, and I'll show you how to do that, but it's super easy. And anyway, I'm looking forward to it. Originally, I was supposed to do it tonight, and then I was a little nervous with the weather, not knowing which way the storm was going to go, because when the wind blows wrong here, we lose power, but it went a little more east, thank goodness. But so sorry it wasn't tonight.
No,
but
you're fine.
I'm excited.
Fine.
And I had some visitors tonight drop by. Alex called and was like, what are you doing? And I said, on the sofa. Paul's waking me up at 7:45 to get up for the Zoom. He's like, I'm in your driveway. I'm like, oh shit, let me get up. So anyway, I had some visitors come by. So anyway.
Excellent. Thank you for the promo. All right, you guys, we will, just one last reminder, we have work at Wednesday at noon Eastern tomorrow. Noon Eastern, 11 Central, 10 Mountain, 9 Pacific. That's in the morning, or at 8 p.m. tomorrow night, Eastern. 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, 5 p.m. Pacific. I think I did that right. And, you know, we don't expect you all to jump on everything every night. We don't expect you to join us for 3 to 4 nights of Zooms. But Work at Wednesday is really a great, really fun opportunity to network and share ideas, ask questions on all that kind of thing. So if it works with your schedule, join us. All right. Good night, everybody.